There goes the Star Wars lore. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let us react to this article from that part. According to this, Sharmeen, who is now claiming Rey Skywalker is the heart of Star Wars and implies film will continue to inject feminism into Star Wars. Yeah, another DEI, guys. Another one of these guys. Let's react to this. Sharmeen Chinoy, who announced the upcoming Rey film featuring Daisy Ridley, recently shared more details about the project, heavily implied it will inject more feminism. Now, speaking for Variety, she said, "The story that interests me most is in Rey's journey as a female Jedi. That's how I can best bring my experience. The greatest thing about Star Wars is that everyone has a personal connection to it. Everyone is passionate about it. And throughout the fandom, people have clear ideas who should direct and what stories should be about. I'm just drowning out those voices until I'm done." Drowning out those voices means you gaslight people. As a storyteller, I'm focused on drawing new moviegoers into the cinema and bringing a sense of nostalgia that will appeal to older fans of the series. Press X to doubt, folks. I'm pressing X to doubt. She says to SiriusXM in the interview, "Sometimes you walk in the footsteps of the people and giants who created the world. In the case of Star Wars, George Lucas' world and the filmmaker that have walked in his footsteps set this world that they want young viewers to sort of walk into and have an understanding of the world. And at the heart of it, for me, is Rey Skywalker is Daisy Ridley and her story of taking her on the adventure to a Jedi Academy, sort of creating a world that is natural, devoted to the story that we've seen her go through the last 3 episodes. And working with Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, and the team over there in breathing life to the characters that everyone loved and fallen in love with, finding new characters that the next generation of moviegoers will fall in love with. No, they're not. From Chinoy detail, she is collaborating to bring the film to life. I have conversation with J.J. Abrams. I have conversation with George Lucas. Then, of course, Dave Filoni, who is bigger part of Star Wars universe now. We speak very often, Kathleen Kennedy and Carrie Beck and Simon Emmanuel. I think the team is really taking time to make sure we do justice to tell the story of Daisy. I think that she stands for something. We've seen this wonderful journey she went on in episode 7, 8, and 9. Now it's like on to the next adventure. How do we create a world, the adventures that we take her on? Now it's no surprise the film will inject more feminism in Star Wars, which not surprising. Kathleen Kennedy made it clear that was her goal all the way back in 2015 during the appearance of Fortune magazine, the most powerful women summit. She said, "I think the interesting path we had in the conversation that took place around the consumer product, because there were a lot of companies that were in place who frankly didn't initially feel that Star Wars was for girls. And when you have a company situation where between Lucasfilm and Disney, we were all looking at the situation saying, no, with Star Wars, we have to change this. We have to make sure that we create a product that are a sense appealing for both boys and girls." What's wrong with What's wrong with that, genius, is that you gaslight, you exclude people. Majority of people who watch Star Wars are mostly male. Yes, there are some, but I think male have the majority of it. The fact that company was bought by Walt Disney Company has been amazing because they are very much support the fact that we are trying to grow in the workforce, a number of women in executive position in all position inside a company, and with the movies that we are making and with the protagonists we are putting in the stories, so I get a huge amount of support with that. Again, press X to doubt, but we have 50% of our executive team are women, and 6 out of 8 of the people in my story group are women. I'm sure there's a lot of people would be surprised that we are making Star Wars movies and the majority of people involved in the development of those stories are women. And I think it makes a huge difference in the stories we're trying to tell. No, you're not. Kennedy recently admitted this plan to bring in more women to the fan base had failed. Okay, which is true. What do you expect? Operating within these giant franchises now with social media and the level of expectation is terrifying. I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with it. I think a lot of women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a bit more because the fan base being so male dominant, they sometimes get attacked in a way can be quite personal. What do you expect when you gaslight people and when you say things like this? Take a look what Shudigawa happened. He says, if you don't like Doctor Who, turn on the TV, touch grass. What happened after that? 2 million views gone. Well, I gotta get one more thing. Well, absolutely, I like to make men uncomfortable because I enjoy making men uncomfortable. This is the one. This is one of the few things. This is what happens when you ignore or you exclude your fan base that kept this franchise for a long period of time. Marvel did the same thing. Take a look what's happening. everything has gone down, and many viewers is now going to Eastern or perhaps Asian media. Even in video games are doing the same thing. That's what happens when you gaslight people. I'm pretty much certain many Asian media, whether it's movies, TV shows, or video games, they are on the rise, and by the time of this upload, I'm now starting to play First Descendant, a South Korean made game. Well, there is a bit of lag if you guys saw anything, because I don't know if my computer can handle it, which I'm gonna try to lower it down just in case. But overall, if you say things like this, like I like to make men uncomfortable or perhaps making white people cry, guess what happened? Those viewers are gonna be gone, and it's gonna force other people, like either people of color, trans, anything, they're gonna be gone. They're not gonna support this thing. Overall, don't gaslight people. These are the ones are going to keep your franchise afloat. If you gaslight them, well, good luck finding another job. It's not gonna go easy. But I feel bad for the people creating this. I know some people who are creating or writing this, they really hate it. But I just hope many people within this industry that are making Star Wars, hopefully they will open their eyes.
Alpha, the Ironheart was stolen. The operation failed.
Damn it! I never expected Corel to show up in person after everything we've gone through to find that Ironheart. If we don't find the other two Ironhearts before he does, the dimensional wall will be in danger.
Don't lose hope, HQ. We've made contact with a guide. It's going to help us.
Leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below. What do you guys think about this? It is probably going to be woke, sadly. If you want gaming news or anything, you can visit my first channel up here or link in the description.